Is the Ford Mustang still the king of muscle cars? The answer roars back in just 3 words. 5.0. The 5.0-liter Coyote V8 is the reason the Mustang still turns heads, shakes the pavement, and makes every drive feel like a victory lap. But here's the twist. While you might think you know why this engine is so legendary, there's a secret hiding in its history that even die-hard Mustang fans often miss. And when you hear it, you'll never look at this V8 the same way again. The birth of the Coyote. The late 2000s were a turning point for the Mustang. The competition was fierce, and Chevy's Camaro had just returned swinging for the fences. Ford's trusty 4.6-liter modular V8 was dependable, but it was starting to feel old. The Mustang needed more than an update. It needed a revolution under the hood. That's when Ford's engineers decided to build something that would silence the doubters, impress the loyalists, and give the Mustang a new heartbeat. The goal was clear: an engine with at least 400 horsepower, the ability to rev higher than most American V8s, and the flexibility to pass modern emissions without losing its soul. The result was the 5.0-liter Coyote V8, introduced in the 2011 Mustang GT. Right out of the gate, it produced 412 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. Numbers that didn't just match the competition, they put Ford back on the front page of every car magazine. But the Coyote wasn't just about numbers. It had personality. It could be docile on the highway, then transform into a snarling beast with the press of the throttle. That dual nature was exactly what Mustang drivers wanted. Something that could cruise during the week and cause chaos on the weekend. And that's why from the moment it debuted, the Coyote wasn't just an engine, it was a promise that the Mustang's glory days weren't over. The tech that makes it roar. Building a great V8 in the 21st century is no easy feat. Emissions laws are tighter than ever. Fuel economy is no longer just a suggestion, and yet the soul of a performance car still depends on raw power and emotion. Ford had to walk a razor's edge. Too tame, and they'd lose the die-hard muscle fans. Too wild, and they'd fail to meet modern standards. The Coyote was the answer, and it solved that puzzle with a blend of old-school muscle and cutting-edge engineering. At its core, the Coyote used an aluminum block, not just to keep weight down, but to give the Mustang better balance and sharper handling. High-flow cylinder heads allowed more air in and out, making the engine breathe freely even at high revs, while a forged crankshaft gave it the strength to handle serious power without flinching. Every part was designed with performance in mind, but none of it was overbuilt for the sake of it. This was engineering with purpose. The real magic, though, came from its twin independent variable cam timing, TI-VCT. This wasn't a gimmick, it was the Coyote's secret weapon. It allowed the intake and exhaust valves to adjust independently on the fly, giving the driver a wide, flat torque curve for everyday drivability and an explosion of high-end power when pushed. In traffic, it could be calm and composed. On an open stretch of road, it could scream past 7,000 RPM with the eagerness of a race engine. And then there's the sound. Sharp, aggressive, and undeniably Mustang. Ford's engineers could have muted it to keep things polite, but they knew sound is part of the Mustang's DNA. The bark at startup, the deep, resonant growl under throttle, and that high RPM wail, they're as iconic as the Mustang's very shape. Even if you're not a car person, you hear it and instantly know, that's a Coyote. Why Mustang drivers fell in love. There's a reason the Coyote has a fan base all its own. For many drivers, it was the first Mustang engine that truly felt modern while still keeping that old-school muscle car attitude. It wasn't just about horsepower, it was about how that power felt. You didn't just press the pedal, you unleashed something alive. Owners talk about how the Coyote makes even a slow drive feel special. Rolling down the street, you catch people turning their heads. You feel that rumble in your chest, and you know you're driving something with history in its veins. And when you do decide to floor it, the way it pins you to the seat and keeps pulling past 6,000 RPM is addictive. For years, Mustang owners had to deal with rivals boasting about bigger numbers or more exotic tech. The Coyote flipped that script. Now Mustang drivers could walk into any car meet, park next to a Camaro or Challenger, and know they had a piece of machinery that could hold its own, and often win. The racing edge. If you wanted proof that the Coyote was more than marketing hype, you only had to look at the racetrack. From drag strips to road courses, the Coyote proved it could play in multiple arenas. Its smooth power delivery made it easy to control at the limit, and its willingness to rev meant it could stay in the sweet spot longer than many rivals. Ford Performance took full advantage of this. The Coyote found its way into the Boss 302, the Shelby GT 350, and countless track-ready Mustang builds. And thanks to a strong aftermarket, tuners discovered the Coyote could handle big upgrades, superchargers, turbo kits, and even nitrous, without folding under pressure. Many street Coyotes have been pushed well past 700 horsepower reliably, a testament to how overbuilt the engine really was. The Coyote also became a swap favorite. It started showing up in everything from classic Mustangs to off-road trucks to kit cars. If you had a project that needed reliable V8 power, the Coyote was suddenly the go-to choice. That adaptability only cemented its reputation as one of Ford's greatest engines. The rivalry factor. Mustang fans live for the rivalry. Camaro, Challenger, Charger. The Coyote made the Mustang competitive again in a way that was about more than just bragging rights. It leveled the playing field. Against Chevy's LS and LT engines, the Coyote held its own with a unique blend of high-rev excitement and everyday usability. Against Dodge's big Hemis, it offered a lighter, more agile package that was just as fun on winding roads as it was in a straight line. And this is where the Mustang's character, powered by the Coyote, stood out. It wasn't the absolute fastest in every stat, but it was the one that felt the most alive to drive. The Camaro could feel clinical, the Challenger a bit heavy, but the Coyote-powered Mustang was pure engagement. That's why the rivalry isn't just about time slips, it's about loyalty. Stick around till the end, because there's one hidden truth about the Coyote's name that ties it back to one of Ford's most legendary racing eras. The Coyote in pop culture. Outside the racetrack, the Coyote evolved into far more than just an engine. It became a full-blown cultural symbol. In modern car movies, video games, and viral social media clips, the 5.0 badge became a badge of honor. Whether it was shredding tires in a smoky burnout for a music video, making a cameo in a Hollywood chase scene, or starring in a detailed YouTube build series, the Coyote-powered Mustang always seemed to steal the spotlight. It wasn't just car enthusiasts taking notice. The Coyote found its way into mainstream culture because it represented something deeper: raw, unapologetic fun. In an age where so many cars felt tame and muted, the Mustang's 5.0 stood out as a symbol of rebellion. For a new generation of gearheads, it became the dream car. Kids grew up hearing that signature howl in video games like Forza Horizon and Need for Speed, then later seeing it blast down real streets in viral Instagram reels and TikTok clips. It was more than speed. It was style, attitude, and presence. Just like the original 60s Mustangs, the Coyote carried that same defiant spirit, proving that some legends never fade. They just get louder. What's next for the 5.0 liter? We're living in a time where big V8s are becoming an endangered species. Hybrids and electric cars are on the rise, and emissions regulations get stricter every year. But Ford isn't done with the Coyote yet. The latest version in the 2024 Mustang GT cranks out over 480 horsepower in stock form, and the new Dark Horse edition pushes that even further. There's talk of electrified assistance in the future, pairing the Coyote with hybrid technology for even more torque, while keeping that classic V8 soundtrack. Some fans are excited, others worried it might dilute the magic. The real question is, can the Coyote evolve without losing its soul? The hidden Coyote. In fact, here's the secret. The name Coyote wasn't just some random, cool-sounding choice cooked up in a marketing meeting. It's deeply rooted in Ford's rich racing heritage. Back in the 1960s, legendary racer A.J. Foyt dominated the track behind the wheel of a Ford-powered Indy car called the Coyote. That car wasn't just competitive, it became a symbol of speed, resilience, and American racing pride. racking up multiple victories and cementing its place in motorsport history. Decades later, when Ford's engineers were finalizing their all-new 5.0-liter V8, they wanted a name that carried weight, something that connected this modern powerhouse to the company's glory days. Coyote was the perfect fit. It wasn't just a name, it was a tribute to a winning legacy. So every time you twist the key or hit the start button on a Coyote-powered Mustang, you're not just waking up an engine, you're igniting a piece of Ford's golden racing era. The 5.0-liter Coyote V8 isn't just an engine, it's a heartbeat, a battle cry, and a love letter to driving. It's the reason the Mustang is still the car people dream about owning, still the one that makes you turn your head when it passes, still the one that sounds like freedom itself. In a future that's quickly going silent, the Coyote reminds us why we fell in love with cars in the first place. If you've ever felt the rush of a V8, you know it's something worth protecting. So before the roar fades away, hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us your favorite Coyote moment in the comments. Because Mustang madness isn't going anywhere, and neither are we.